We have seen dramatic effects already in terms of automation technology, both in terms of robotics and in terms of just general information and computing technology. On the factory floor, where you look at old photos of what a factory floor used to be, it used to be many, let's face it, men standing together with work passing across them. You see a modern factory floor now, and it's very few people, many more machines. Information and computing technology has pervaded the office workspace. So tasks that were typically done by humans in the past are increasingly being done by the computers that we have on our desktops. About 6 years ago, Amazon started to replace those forklift drivers, so kind of warehouse workers, with these tiny little robots. And these tiny little robots run on a digital grid in the warehouse floor, and they go around and they pick the goods instead of a person, and then they bring it up to the person who actually puts it in the box. I don't know of exact numbers, but certainly if you think about the number of warehouse workers there are in our economy, and the fact that this technology is getting better and better, and therefore cheaper and cheaper, you could imagine that this will have a large effect on employment in those types of occupations.
The Da Vinci robot is made up of two parts. It has the part that the surgeon interacts with, and then it has the part that interacts with the patient. What its purpose is to make the surgeon feel as though their hands and their eyes have been transformed inside the body of the patient without actually having to cut them open and spread their ribs. So by inserting these small tools through small incisions, one being a camera, another being tools which actually have a lot of very dexterous motion range, and then the surgeon works at a console. What the system does is it takes the motions that the surgeon is performing and mimics them inside the person's body, and then it returns the three-dimensional stereoscopic vision so the surgeon can see what they're doing. A robot is essentially, it's difficult to define this term, but people generally understand it to be some sort of moving mechanism that has some intelligence. Now, the intelligence in this case would be just the copying of the motions, right? So that's all the intelligence that's being done there, but it has a very big beneficial effect to the patient. Robots are used for a number of different reasons. And one of them, in manufacturing, for example, sure, it's doing things on its own, but in things like surgery, where you're not doing a repetitive task on identical objects, every human is different, every problem is different, it does not remove the human from the loop whatsoever.